Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Jeanette Biro here. I'm a medium and a cosmic channeler. Welcome to Galactic Thursdays, where we tune into messages from the stars, messages from the galactics. And what's so interesting is after I filmed yesterday's video, I was, going to put my stuff away and move on to other stuff. And the galactics came through and they started sharing a message that they wanted me to record. So I'm recording this right now, and this is so interesting. So this is from my galactic guides, my council, and what they showed me, first thing they showed me was a pair of glasses, and they said it's really important that you all change your lenses. And I was like, okay, how do we need to change our lenses, like metaphorically, right? And they said you perceive your reality as rigid, as structured, as solid, and they said in true reality, it is fluid. Everything in the universe is actually fluid. Now, I don't mean liquid. I mean the fluidity of movement. It is moving particles all the time. It is always in motion. And they said it's really important for you to recognize that and change that lens, because they said the time is ripe for the picking. And I said, what is the picking? What is ripe? And they showed me apples. Now, anytime that I see apples, apples represent consciousness. It represents knowledge. And if we are willing to see beyond the constructs of our reality right now, we will gain so much more wisdom and consciousness. The apple is literally waiting to be eaten, right? And again, metaphor. Now, does that mean we completely detach from reality? No, we still have to live in this reality, but it's like, when they're saying change your lenses, it's almost, that's what exactly. I was going to give you this comparison, and they just said, explain it this way, same thing. You know, when you see videos of people who are colorblind, and then they're given a pair of glasses, and when they put the glasses on, they see the world in color. It's that kind of thing, right? They're like, it's not about completely detaching from reality. It's enhancing the reality. So it's that kind of a subtle but bold change. We still interact in this reality, but we do so with another lens that allows us to see so much more. And that seeing so much more it can be actual visual cues of seeing, I'm sure some of you have seen the fluidity of our world, right? Sometimes, here's a great example for anyone. Everyone has seen this at some point, right? You don't just have to be a psychic or a medium who can tap into higher consciousness. You can see the fluidity of movement when it's a hot summer day and you look at the pavement and the heat is rising, right? And you can see it. You can see the world is kind of doing this where the heat is rising. You're seeing the energy in motion. It's still the same reality, but you're seeing it in motion. It's that kind of an idea. And so some of you may see the world differently, kind of like that, where you look up in the sky and you actually see the particles moving, or you look at a tree and you actually, feel or see the tree exchanging its oxygen and carbon dioxide. You see it like breathing, or you feel the energy of the earth moving. I mean, I've had these experiences, but more and more people are going to be able to recognize these experiences also. And this is what's really interesting, because these little experiences, whether you see it, feel it, know it, right? You may just get a divine knowing. It helps to change your reality. And so with that concept of putting on new lenses is kind of a heads up from everyone that we are going to start to experience our world differently, because our consciousness is rising, because it is ripe for the picking. The apples are ready to be picked and eaten, meaning the consciousness is here ready for people to take it in. And so this is a really interesting thing. Now, I needed to hear that too. Times like this can be so exciting, right? We're like, yes, amazing, I'm here for it, I love it. Times like this, where we gain such insight, usually comes during times where we see so much crumbling, so much chaos. The two kind of feed in, because what the chaos does is it crumbles a whole bunch of things and makes space for it, and then allows these new lenses to come in for us to see something different. Because oftentimes if things aren't crumbling, We're not in a mindset to really want to or need to be open to see something new. Again, I'm totally generalizing that, right? But I think you understand what I mean. And so they said what happens is it creates an even bigger kind of polarity between the two sides. You have just like tough destruction and strife, and then you have amazing awakening. And it's kind of hard to know, like, where am I in it? Am I here and then ignoring that? Or am I here and ignoring that? How do I stay real within both worlds? It's a very challenging time to be here, but the goodness is that with all the crumblings we've had, we are opening this space. And the space for consciousness that's coming in is a really big deal. It's a really big deal. It's allowing us to raise our level of consciousness to step up to that galactic level, which is coming sooner than we think. And so again, this is why they're they're showing me like, clear your eyes and look again. Clear your eyes and look again at the world around you, and you will see it is not as rigid as you think. It is fluid. They're showing me too, they're like, at some point, humanity will start to realize that they're showing it to me like they can put their hand through a dimension and step into another dimension. They're like, how do you think we show up in your dimension? How do you think sometimes we can, technically walk through a wall? Technically, just appear. We understand the frequencies and the fluidity of dimensions, and we alter our frequency for the specific dimension. And to us, we think like, what? No way, sci-fi. But we just haven't eaten that apple of consciousness yet. But those apples are, almost here, or getting ready to be here. Or maybe you're already eating that apple, right? So I think this is really neat. Like, this is so cool. So again, it's really, this year is a big year about like asking yourself the question with your discernment of like, is this really real to me? And again, I'm not trying to say to just skew your whole reality where you're like disassociated from earth life. It's not that. It is to enhance your earth life, to help you realize so much more. It's kind of like when you study a subject, maybe you first hear about the subject and maybe 4 main points. You're like, that's really interesting. But then when you do a deep dive into the subject, you could write a whole entire paper on the subject. It has enhanced what you had in the beginning, right? And so this is to enhance what we have here, because we are meant to evolve as humanity and step up in frequency, in our capacity, in our consciousness, in all of the ways in which that filters down into everything in the human world. So if you notice things starting to shift for you, things starting to look different or feel different, or different knowings, or your dream state is super vivid, or even like, you wake up from dream state and you can't quite shake it off like you normally would, and you're kind of like in between and it feels weird. You're recognizing that fluidity, and you're kind of sitting more in that level of frequency, and that's okay. It just takes an adjustment. So that's fantastic. I love that. I hope that helps bring some insight to all of you too. I would love to hear what you're experiencing if you want to share in the comments, if that feels comfortable for you. It's so neat to share stories and understanding. So yeah, I'll leave that with all of you for now. So I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, everyone. I sure appreciate you. I appreciate the time you take to watch these videos. I appreciate all of your support that got me to 10,000 subscribers. Who knew, right? I'm honored. I'm really honored. I'm honored that you care to watch these insights. So thank you for you. I really appreciate it. And with that, I'll leave you all, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.